Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another video here with the player career mode, with the Arsenal career mode. Today, we are going to be hopping into a little bit of a different episode. Obviously, as you guys can tell, my voice is not lining up with the one you guys see on screen. I'm not even going to do a webcam for this. I'm just going to let the previous webcam up there just so you guys can still see reactions and things like that. But the mic audio completely got botched in this video basically, so I'm gonna do a little bit of a free form, just old school commentary over our little 10-minute video here, a little bit less than that. So we are hopping into the game. This was a very disappointing, I got messed up audio wise because it was Man U, Man City. We play Man City in the Carabao Cup, we play Man U in the league. We had a game against Newcastle that didn't work, and it was a pretty disappointing episode, to say the least. But it is what it is. We move forward, we move on. Now the Man U game, I will say, was just dead boring. The first half was just, we couldn't get anything going, they couldn't get anything going. And I will say it's a little weird doing this commentary today, as I've already recorded like 4 more episodes after this video. But I will say that the is tight this season. The top 4 is very, very tight. And as you guys see here, Thauvin comes in and he gets a goal, which Thauvin has not been scoring very much for us, but he comes in absolutely massive off the bench. We get the assist, 1-0 up in the 89th minute against Man U. But like I was saying, the table currently, which you guys will see the table a little bit later on in this video, but the table is so freaking tight this year between the top 5, and I mean even top 6. The 6th team is like right below the fifth team the entire year. And I didn't even realize it, but the schedule second half of the season, I mean, there's a month-long period coming up that is absolutely awful for us. Like, we're playing the top 5 the entire time, but it is what it is. That game ends 1-0. We get the victory against Man United, and at this point I had realized what was going on, I think, with the FIFA glitch. So basically I cannot play any home games in the Premier League, or I will get that glitch. So I'm just going to start skipping them from now on. Like, I will not even play in the game. I'll just simulate the day after, because whenever I loaded into the games and I simulated and left my character in the game, the score would stay the same regardless of how we left it. So like the game against Newcastle, which I can't even remember if I put in this video, I stayed on the field long enough that we got scored on because of a mistake I made. And then I simulated the game after that. The game ended 1-0. And then every game that I had simulated right when the game started would end 0-0. There would never be goals after I ended up simulating, which just seemed a little odd. So I started just skipping the games or subbing myself out, and now there have been goals. It has been working. So unfortunately we've dropped points because of this glitch, which has been super frustrating, because obviously they're home games, like we should not be losing, but it is what it is. We come into this game against Brighton, and it was, obviously we just come off that Man U win, the late win. We wanted to make sure we were scoring goals this time. Pepe was starting to step up, starting to learn how to play in the squad a little bit more. Now, what I will say is, in this episode, the transfer window is also going to open. And after this game, as you guys see, after this game, we end up losing Leno. Leno gets injured. I don't know if it was during this game or if it was during training, but Leno breaks his fibula or something, tibula, something like that. I can't remember what he broke. I think I'll show it after this game, but he breaks a bone and he's out for like 3 months, I think. So we end up having to go out and getting a goalkeeper, because our backup goalkeeper is Macy, who's like 60 something rated. So we had to go out and get a goalkeeper. Thankfully, a broken tibia, out for 4 months. Luckily, I played this on PC, so I don't have to just hope that the FIFA gods are going to give us a signing. So I did go out and I told our board, I was like, hey, we got to get a keeper. They go out and they get a keeper from Schalke, and we end up getting a keeper in, but he's not ready for this game. So we started against Man City in the Carabao Cup with a 60 rated goalkeeper, but thankfully our defense was playing out of their minds. Zagadou and Akanji, absolutely incredible, but Pepe gets a goal in the 40th minute, which was absolutely beautiful, honestly. So it was really, really good to see that we were still able to put our best foot forward, make sure that we got the goal early on in this game, semi-early on, I guess, and play some really, really good defense. And here, right before the end of the half, we end up getting it, put it on our left foot, put it past Ederson, grab the goal, get the lead. Now, I will say, it's obviously the Carabao Cup. If we lost it, it wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world. But this season, because we're in Europa League and we have such a good team, especially with me being 93 rated at this point, we need to win everything. So I was putting my best foot forward regardless. We need to start like our main team, or we need to play like we're playing with our main team every single cup game. So the forward. We're going to be in the FA Cup soon. We're obviously killing it in the Europa League right now. And then obviously the Premier League, because if we can just win all of that, make sure we're getting as many titles as we can this year, we'll take that energy into the Champions League next year and hopefully win the Champions League. Now, if we manage to win a pseudo treble this year, I'm not sure how much I will play the league next year, or maybe I won't play cup games. It depends on what we win. So if we win the league, I probably won't play in league matches next season. I'll just focus on Champions League and maybe the other cups and stuff. Only win the cups and maybe we win Europa League, I'll focus on Champions League and the league, and then just not really focus on the cups, the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. But who knows? We'll see what ends up happening by the end of the season. We're not far off. After I just finished recording yesterday, I think we have about a month and a half left of the season, so we're getting there. We're about seven or eight episodes away from finishing the season, I think. Now here I am showing you guys that we did end up making a couple signings. We ended up bringing back Martinelli. We ended up selling at some point. I don't know when they did it. They sold him to Newcastle. He's 83 rated. We brought him back in the squad. And then also we ended up signing again a goalkeeper to replace Leno for the time being. And it was Newble. Newble plays for Sheffield. He's an 80 rated goalkeeper. Pretty decent potential. Obviously, he's a backup keeper for Leno when he does come back, but he's going to be stepping into the role, taking over for Macy for starting keeper over the next 4 months. So I mean, that's a lot of games the second half of the season. So we're looking at a mid-April or May return, which I mean is literally the end of the season. Like, we might get Leno back for like the final of some of the cups and things like that. So it's a pretty crazy season, but again, we're starting to learn how to play with each other. I'm starting to learn how to play with Pepe a little bit more, which is massive because obviously Pepe is such a good player, and I feel like he's been getting underutilized. I mean, even at this point in the season, only 7 goals currently. So hopefully second half of the season we can get Pepe to score a bit more. But really the the formation and lineup just don't really cater well to Pepe, in my opinion. So we've kind of just been a little... So that's why I figured we bring in somebody like a Martinelli. He can play left wing, he can play striker. We have Lammers, who's starting to step up a little bit more. Eddie, who has been doing really, really well, but not great in this game, as you guys see, a 1-0 victory against Aston Villa. So it's kind of a weird spot we're in right now. I will say all of the videos after this one that I've recorded are good on audio. Everything is fine. We're back to normal. But as you guys see in the table, I'm going to pull it up here. We are currently in 5th place, but we're only 3 points back from 1st place, and that's the important thing to pay attention to. We've all played 22 games. We have 51 points. 1st place also has 54 points, tied with like 3 other teams. And then the team currently in 6th place, Chelsea, is not far behind us. So a very, very tight table nonetheless. But if we continue putting in the good performances, hopefully the team can do well at home while we're not able to play in the Premier League. And then we just keep moving forward. But if you guys did enjoy the episode, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, I'll see you guys later. Peace.